In a small African village surrounded by green hills and dusty paths lived a humble family. The father, Favor, was a hard-working farmer. His wife, Amma, was gentle, wise, and strong. Together, they were raising 3 children, Kwame, Ajoa, and Little Yaw. Every morning before sunrise, Favor would leave for the farm while Amma prepared food for the children before they walked to school. Life was simple, but it was peaceful. Their laughter often filled their small home made of clay walls and a tin roof. But one year everything changed. The rains did not come. Week after week, the sun burned the land. The soil cracked. The crops dried up. Favor stood in the middle of his farm, staring at the dying maize plants. His heart felt heavy, because this was not just his farm. It was food for his wife, food for his children, hope for his family. At home, Amma tried her best to stay strong. One evening, the children gathered around the small table. "Mother, when will father harvest the crops?" Little Yo asked. Amma forced a gentle smile, even though worry filled her heart. "Soon," she said softly, but deep inside, she wasn't sure. Days turned into weeks. The food in the house became smaller each day. Favor began to feel like he had failed his family. One night, he sat quietly outside his house while the moon shone faintly above the village. Amma came and sat beside him. She held his hand and said something he would never forget. "My husband, remember what the elders always say. However long the night, the dawn will break." Favor looked at her. Those words lit a small fire of hope in his heart. The next morning, he returned to the farm. Even though the soil was dry, he cleared the land again. Even though the sky had no clouds, he planted seeds again. Some villagers laughed at him. "Why waste your strength?" they said. But Favor kept working, because he wasn't just working for himself. He was working for Amma, for Kwame, for Ajoa, and for Little Yaw. Ran outside the house as the first drops of rain fell. Then suddenly, "Please don't forget to share this. Let's continue." Rain poured down across the entire village. Amma lifted Little Yaw in her arms while the children danced happily in the rain. And Favor stood quietly in the falling rain, looking up at the sky with gratitude. Weeks passed. Green crops began growing again on the farm. The land that once looked dead slowly came back to life. When harvest season finally arrived, Kojo's farm was full of fresh maize and cassava. His family would not go hungry anymore. One evening, as they sat together eating and laughing, Amma looked at Favor and smiled. And Favor said softly, "The night was long, but the dawn has finally come." Now, this is what the story tells us. Life will sometimes bring moments that feel like a long and endless night. Struggles may test our patience. Problems may challenge our strength. But never forget this powerful African proverb. However long the night, the dawn will break. No matter how dark life becomes, hope will always rise again. If this story inspired you, please like the video, share it with someone who might need encouragement today, and subscribe for more powerful stories and life lessons. See you in the next video.